If you don't want to regret certain things in your life, watch this video. Let me explain myself. Recently, I traveled with a tour group, very nice tour group. We enjoyed, had fun. And while in the morning, we were arranging things into this coaster bus, arranging things for the travel, somebody saw me and made a remark. Not in a bad way, just said, "Is this Baba traveling with us?" I had that statement, so I walked towards him and said, "Am I too young to travel with this group?" And we all had a good laugh, enjoyed ourselves on the trip. You see, but looking back at it, it's like indicative of, look, there are certain things, if you don't do them, maybe you will never get to do them. Let me share that story that I saw. This one I saw on social media. It happened in like a place, I think Venice. There was this aged couple, maybe they hired a boat to take them around Venice, what we watch here in arrangement in Venice. And they fell asleep inside the boat. And whether it's the tour guide, the man rowing the boat, he does not even know what to do. He was just looking at the two people sleeping and was just holding his rowing stick and all the rest, paddle and all the rest. So you see, there are certain things you should do them when you can. And if you are within the 40 to 60 to 70 bracket, it is not too late to do certain things. Those are certain things, if you're not careful, you may not be able to do them. I'll give you an example. The place I went to, there was a waterfall that not everybody went, a lot of people turned back. I tried to get as close as possible to where the waterfall was, but it was a steep descent. And I was like, if I go down there, am I sure I will not become everybody's problem in coming back up? So it indicates that so I opted out of going down there. A few other young people say they are not going, that it's too steep and all the rest. Some didn't even get as far as I went. So I just took the picture of the waterfall from a distance and still enjoyed myself. But I'm going to go back there by God's grace next year, and I'm going to go as far as that waterfall. I just need to get maybe myself a little bit more fitter, and then maybe I shouldn't scare myself out of going down there. If I go down there, I may not be able to come up. That was just what happens. Look, there are certain things as you get older, you start saying, I could have, I should have, I would have. You see, so if you don't want to have those kind of I could have, I should have, and all the rest, there are a lot of things you should do now, and I want to talk about them, because what will pain you most in old age is to start remembering the things you should have done that you did not do. For example, there are people who you should tell them you love them now. Show them love now. Be kind to them now, because a time may come, you may just discover that this person is not around anymore. And then you are like, I will have showed this person more love. These are things that come with age and experience. If you are younger, I need you to learn for what I'm talking about. I should have showed them more love. I should have told them I love them. It could be as simple as that. So these are some of the things that come as you begin to age. Now, at my own 60-ish bracket, I'm still a small boy to somebody who around the 80s, 90s, who even have more things to say, I should have, I could have. So I'm saying it to you now, if you're in this my age bracket or you are younger, there are certain things you need to start doing in case you are interested. Let's take this thing further. One of the fundamental mistakes you can make as you are growing up is to make what you are doing now your identity. Because when you make something your identity, when time comes and you need to make a change, it may become a struggle. And most people, when they now get older, they are like, I should have switched, I should have started this, I should have opened that company, I should have written that book, I should have sang this particular song, I should have done that, maybe it's an engineering thing, a computer thing, I should have, but because you have casted yourself in a particular mode, I made this, I made that, so the business you are supposed to open, you did not open it, now you are 80, now you are 90, and you are just like, I should have started this earlier. But I still thank God for you, at least you started it. Let me explain this a little bit like this. You see, if you read the Bible, Jesus started as a carpenter, but he did not end as a carpenter. He got to a particular point, he switched. The problem of making a particular job or business your identity is this problem of switching. Now, if it comes to a particular time, you are supposed to switch and you don't switch, and you allow life to do the switch, then there's room for a lot of regrets. I'm just pouring my heart out to you. I'll give you an example. Remember these big tech companies like Nokia, BlackBerry, and all the rest? They did not make the switch when the time for the switch came. Why? They were doing the old and the familiar, which was working, but maybe the future was not interpreted well. So right now, as you're watching me, what you are doing, are you sure that with the way AI and everything is going right now, 10, 15 years down the lane, will it still be relevant the way it is now? So if you need to make a switch, Paul Apostle made a switch in his life and his career. Maybe he was a tent maker, he was a lecturer, many things he was before he became a traveling preacher or an evangelist and all the rest. If you need to make a switch, if God is giving you a new direction, if God is planting new ideas or seeds in your heart, and you need to make a switch, make the switch. Now that you can still have the energy to move around. Now, some people, the reason why they don't make switch when it is time is, for example, people will say, I don't have time. Look, when you are older, you will suddenly discover that, what I thought that I don't have time, you may spend, let me use that word deliberately, you may now spend a good part of your old age. Yeah, you have all the money, you have everything, but you're like, I still wish I should have done X, Y, Z, or have gone to X, Y, Z place, I should have started X, Y, Z business, especially when you see the ideas that God gave to you, or you are inspired to say, let me do this, somebody else is now doing it, and it's now flourishing, you are just like, that was my idea. But if you are styled yourself, you say, I'm a fashion designer, and fashion designer will I be? What if God gives you a different idea? Maybe you can sing too. Maybe you can draw too, and all the rest. If you know, there was a time before, actually when I was younger, before digital cameras came, we used to buy films. You remember the days of Polaroid, when you take a picture, you have to fan it for it to come clear and all the rest. What happened to Kodak and all those companies? When the digital cameras came and changes began to happen, they did not change. That is partly what affected those companies. So make the switch when the opportunity is there. Now, another reason why some people may not make that switch is because what will people say? What will people not say? If you make the switch, people will say. If you don't make the switch, people will say. I started my life as an executive. I worked in a banking environment, and from there I went into shipping, marine, handling cargo, wet cargo, export and import and all those things. But now I'm preaching. And for my preaching, I do photography, I do videography, I do a lot of travel, I do a lot of traveling, except for now for other reasons that I cannot explain here. So there are many parts of you that as you grow older, with more experience, with more money, with more connections, you just discover that there are other things you do. So don't let what people will say hinder you. When Jesus, if you read the Bible, when he started, people were saying, is this not the carpenter? Is he, I don't know if we know his brother and his sister. Why is he saying he said this, he said that? You see, but you see, when God puts something in your heart, when you have something rising up in you, you don't allow what people will say to hinder you from doing what you're supposed to do, because we are created and sent to this world to make impact. Now, if you start that new thing, some people may judge you, some people may condemn you, some people may say, oh, is it now that you woke up? Is it now that you did this, now that you that? Don't let those kind of people discourage you. So you see, the only thing that can hinder you is what you are listening to here and here. Don't listen to here and here. Listen to here. Listen to your heart. Follow your heart. Make impact. Make the difference in people's life, because you don't know who the value you bring to the table can become a blessing or change their life, so that you don't regret later that oh, I ought to have done this, I ought to have done that. In Africa here, somebody like Thomas Sankara, somebody like Nelson Mandela, why do we know those names today? Because at their own time, they were prepared to be different. They were prepared to do things differently without bothering about who is complaining. People like Che Guevara, Mao Zedong, Mother Teresa, Fela Ransom Kuti, and Nicola Kuti, and a host of other people. Now, it's not as if that I agree with everything everybody is doing, but I'm giving you an example that why do we know those names? It is because they made impact. They chose to be different. They did not let what people will say will hinder them. Mother Teresa was a blessing to people all her life. She wasn't extremely very rich person and all the rest, but she demonstrated love that is in an uncommon way. So there are so many people in the world that we are in today making the difference just because they choose to do what comes from the heart. You see, you may be working for somebody now, whether you like it or not. You either get to retire or get downsized, maybe unfortunately sacked, and whatever it is. So sometimes the bear is on the road, the lion is in the way. If I do it now, if money does not come and all the rest, and I didn't say retire from your job abruptly. I'm saying you can start what you want to do next as a life also. I'm just giving you my heart so that 30, 40 years after, you don't sit down on your rocking chair with your golden cup of coffee, drinking it, and then you are saying, but I still wish, I still hope I could have, I should have, those kind of things. Recently in Nigeria, a young lady did this cooking thing that broke the Guinness Book of Records, and the Guinness Book of Records recognized her for cooking, I think, jollof rice for I don't know how that thing went. And in the midst of the accolades, some people were saying there are other important things to be solved instead of cooking, whatever. You see, when you check those people, they are people who are not really doing anything. Why? Because everybody should bring to the table what is laid in his heart. I'm not saying people should get reckless, but that lady put Nigeria's name on the map. That lady put Nigeria's name in the Guinness Book of Records apart from our own name. So it's something I felt that people should appreciate. Look, if you are afraid of criticism, judgments, you will not do anything. You see, on my channels, both here and other social media areas, people who maybe if we see face to face cannot talk to me. You are this, you are that, you are a witch, you are whatever, and all the rest. Why are you talking very fast? Can't you talk slow? Another one will go, why are you talking very slow? Can you talk fast? By the way, please, if you think I'm talking very fast, the YouTube or whatever it is has a setting where you can move it from 1.5 to 1.0 and even lower if you feel that. So I don't know, technology is there, you will not investigate it, you are judging whether I talk fast or low, and some will just look at your video just to see where the I's are not dotted and the commas and the apostrophes are not put in place. You said you didn't say this, you didn't pronounce that, I'm not an Englishman, why should I pronounce it like an Englishman? I'm a Nigerian, I'm an African, you see, and all the rest. And then by sometimes I go check the channels of these trolls and you just see that 15 years on YouTube, one post, and that's it. But you see, others are watching, maybe they are saying, oh, this has blessed me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And all the rest. Somebody is saying, that place you did that video, was that a kitchen or was that a restroom? What are you doing? And I'm just like, does it matter? There was a video I did in my kitchen. They say, does it matter whether I did this in the kitchen or in the restroom? Of course, I didn't do it in the restroom, but you understand. So don't be afraid or bothered by trolls and comments and criticisms. Yes, some of them, they can hurt. You can get 100. Oh, this is super good. This is this and that people are praising, and then one person just writes, and all the other things that people say you didn't hear it. Is that just that one liner, But like every other thing else in life, there will always be criticisms and judgments. When I left where I was working before and came into ministry, there are people who said, oh, you want to go to ministry? Of course, they knew my background. They knew people like me should not be in ministry, but that is the ability of God. When he saves a man, changes him around. Oh, he will not last 30 years plus, I'm still going on strong. So don't let the criticisms and judgments and condemnations of people bother you. Do yourself, put it, the right people will come and watch it. There are sometimes, even I'm talking about sometimes you see somebody just subscribed, you see your number, maybe you have 100 followers, then all of a sudden it became 102 followers, then you get there tomorrow, because you posted a particular video, it goes back to 95 followers and all the rest. But at the end of the day, some people left, more people will still come in. So I'm just doing this video to encourage you to just don't allow excuses to stop you. Don't allow what people will say to stop you. Don't allow I don't have time to stop you. And in the world that we are going now, if you are somebody who doesn't know how to take action, maybe things may get a little bit rough. What I'm understanding like this. Now, look at what ChatGPT is doing. It is moving the world gradually from ability to recall knowledge and answer questions from your brain to maybe like a computer. Why? Because now glasses now have what do they call it? AIs on them, so you can look at something and get knowledge in that instant. And if they eventually get this Neuralink thing that they will insert, thing right, you will discover that there is no need to set exam for anybody anymore. Why? Because everybody can recall. Why? Because all the gadgets around you, maybe phones, the way we see it now may not be the way it is anymore. So you see, everybody now will now have knowledge. Just like the Bible says, knowledge will abound everywhere. So what distinguishes you from the next person is the ability to take action. So if you are somebody who does not know how to take action, maybe the future may be a little bit tricky. I'm not here to make you afraid or discouraged. I'm just trying to tell you, because when life gets to that stage, the people who will make the money are the people who can take action. Because ChatGPT and all these AI things can give you the information. Somebody needs to take a step. We will need people who can take action. We need people who can take action, people who can engage, people who can, so many things. So I will encourage you, as I bring this video to a close, if there is anything that has been placed in your heart, if there's anything you have for a long time be saying, I have to do this, I want to do this, I like to do this. If there is a side hustle, if there is a song, if there is a book, if there is a ministry, if there is somebody you need to show love to, if there is somebody you need to care for, I don't know what is, it can be anything. Take action. Tell that person, I love you now before it's too late. Start the business. Even if you are 70, start. I've seen people who started, even YouTube at 75. And they have hundreds and thousands of followers. So you see, I don't know what is in your heart, but take action. Don't just stay there. Why? Because it's not all about money. Like I said, you can be 90 and be inside your Rolls Royce and you are still thinking, if I knew about when I was 30, I should have done this. I've had a situation whereby there was a girl, there was a boy, let me just put it that way, marriageable age. They were supposed to, some people said it to them like a proverb. The step was not taken. After this lady got married, the information now started coming out. If I had known. So don't be like that. God bless you. I will see you in the next video before I say more.